So their false religion is the means. It is the table that they eat at, whereby that table it's served up their poisonous religious food, where they've, in their subtlety, have been deceived to mix law and gospel, grace and works, a conditional salvation recipe, and that's their diet. And we know this. We see this. In Romans 11:6, and we'll read this here, gone there many times to prove this point about the fact that these things can't be mixed. Verse 5 talked about the remnant according to election of grace, and it says, if then by grace, then it is no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. Elementary idea that when you take grace and you add works to grace for salvation, then you don't have salvation by grace. You don't have anything. Grace doesn't work that way. When you intermingle or mix works with it to make it work. Same with law and gospel. In other words, you don't add conditions to mercy and grace. The same way goes for the other side of it. If those would be so bold and blatant and arrogant and prideful to say, bottom line is salvation, there's some of it that has to do with me, some work that I do, then if you hold to that, then you can't add grace to it. The latter part of that verse in Romans 11:6 says that. But if it is of works, if you have any works, you can't have any grace. If it's of works, then it is no more of grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. So clearly, it's got to be either all of grace or all of works. But if you're trying to be saved by grace, it can't be by works. And if you're trying to be saved by works, you can't be saved by grace. There's no mixing, no blending. And of course, the majority, we know this, the majority of false religion tries to be subtle and do a hybrid method, a blending method. And this is what the masses of people in this world today are deceived by. And this is the false teachers, the wolves in sheep's clothing are going that route, and we know that. And so this mess is marching to an end, collectively and individually, to the day of judgment.